Zootopia 2 has come home to Disney Plus.
Let's go!
Get ready for a new case.
We're the greatest partners of all time!
New friends.
Gary the Snake.
And your last name?
The Snake.
Dream Team.
New habitats.
Zootopia has a secret reptile population.
You can watch the record-breaking phenomenon at home. Zootopia 2, now available on Disney Plus, rated PG. And right now you can get Disney Plus and Hulu for just $4.99 a month for 3 months with a special limited time offer. Ends March 24th. After 3 months, plan auto-renews at $12.99 a month. Terms apply.
The Iranian war just hit your tech budget, but the price tags haven't caught up yet. Here's what's really happening. Qatar supplies a third of the world's helium. Iranian drones hit their main facility. No helium, no chips. And chips are in everything. Your laptop, TV, gaming console. Chip prices nearly doubled in 2026 so far. Industry experts are warning consumer electronics prices could jump 20% or more. Smartphones alone are projected to hit an all-time average price of $523. So do not wait on that laptop or TV you've been eyeing. The ripple hits retail in weeks, not months. This becomes the supply chain story of 2026, bigger than COVID shortages and far less forgiving. Buy now or pay more later. When it comes to chips, the war really does have skin in the game. Get my newsletter at getkim.com. Next up, a call from my weekend show, The Kim Komando Show. Enjoy! The other day, I had a chance to sit down with Craig Dubinsky, the CEO of Happy Products. He's built some of the biggest brands in personal care. So when a guy like that tells me a piece of software saved his company, I listen. Here's what he told me.
So you mentioned that NetSuite saved your bacon. What happened there?
Well, our last business, Hello, it's an oral care company. Hello grew and became the fastest growing oral care brand in North America. We were growing so fast that we literally broke another well-known financial platform software. So we made the switch to NetSuite and we migrated our entire business off of one platform onto NetSuite, which was very scary. And we thought this is going to be this impossible task. And we did it over a weekend and it was flawless and seamless and we never looked back. It's the most capable platform we've seen. It's great.
If your revenues are at least 7 figures, get NetSuite's free business guide, Demystifying AI, right now at netsuite.com/Kim. The guide is free to you at netsuite.com/Kim. That's netsuite.com/Kim.
This episode is brought to you by Focus Features. Would you let AI pilot your plane, raise your child, decide your future? On March 27th, Focus Features presents The AI Doc, or How I Became an Apocalyptimist. Critics and audience at the Sundance and Southwest Film Festivals call it the most urgent movie of our time. The AI Doc, or How I Became an Apocalyptimist, rated PG-13. Only in theaters March 27th.
Now, this is a good story. Alex, but before we let me tell you about Alex. Alex is a software engineer. He lives in Phoenix. He has family in Iran. And when the Iranian regime started cutting the internet to silence protesters, Alex got to work. He built free VPNs. This is a huge story. Then he figured out how to get them to people inside using the tiny windows that the government turns the internet back on. And right now, he has about 60,000 people using these VPNs that he built from Phoenix. So, Alex, thank you so much for being here. Walk us through like we're your neighbor. I mean, the government shuts off the internet, flips it back on. How do you sneak a VPN in that window?
So, hi, thank you for having me on the show and letting me explain this important initiative to the rest of the world. To answer you, let me give you a little bit of background of how this was designed originally. So we have been doing this through the Arizona Persian Cultural Center, providing VPN services to Iranians for over 3 years. And the way, how nerdy do you want me to get? Do you want me to get into the details of the technology?
Sure,
or
yeah.
Kind of a high level? Yeah, so what happens is that the Iranian regime provides, traditionally, under normal circumstances, provides internet to the Iranian people. And then what they do, they block certain websites so the Iranians cannot access them. What they then do, they actually provide VPN services inside of Iran. So Iranians not only will have to pay for internet access, they will have to pay for VPN services inside of Iran so that they can access Facebook and Instagram and other,
I see.
other
Okay.
social media services.
How much do they
Now,
pay for that?
Yeah, so it's pretty expensive. I've heard, anywhere between $4 to $5 a month, and considering, an average pay is about $200 a month over there, you can imagine how expensive that would be. That's just for the VPN service. Okay. Now, on top, when they did provide the VPN service, when you buy through internal Iranian services, they can monitor what they're doing because they're the ones providing VPN service.
That makes sense.
So they can hold that against you at any moment that, hey, why are you using VPN service? Although they're selling it themselves. Now, so for the past 3 years, we have been providing VPN services from outside of the country so that people don't have to go through through inside of the Iranian government, or technically it's not the government, but they don't have to go through the Iranian providers to get these VPN services. So the way VPN services work is, again, high level. You set up a server outside in a free world, and Iranians can connect to that one server, and then from there they can surf the internet.
Correct.
So what happens is that the regime, through some software boxes that they bought from China, they can monitor traffic going through outside of Iran. And once they see that, there's a bunch of traffic going to this one IP address, they just block that IP address, and it's all automated. They have some, rules in place, policies in place. If you have so much traffic, so many users are going to this one IP address, they're going to block that. So for the past 3 years, what we have done, I've automated everything. So what it does, my automation, it will build those VPN services, and then it will destroy them a few days later. So before the regime can catch on, I've already destroyed them.
So you're like hopping from one server to another, next server.
I'm hopping through servers. So by the time they find out there's so many people using that server has already been destroyed. Okay.
Now, has Iran ever gotten close to finding you?
Well, I mean, they hit my servers all the time, right? I mean, again, they blocked. Originally, that's what happened. I would build a server, they would block it. I would have to build another one.
I see.
So I just went, you know what? I'm just going to automate this. I'm just going to build the servers and then destroy them. But this is just a background I wanted to give you. Things have changed since the war. Since the recent war, they've completely blocked all internet access. So it doesn't matter if I build a server. If they can't access outside world, it doesn't matter if the VPN's there, because there is no the filtering is meaningless, right? Because you can't get to it. So we have a new solution that I've been working on for the past few days, and the new solution, what we're doing now from inside Iran. See, the regime itself needs to access the internet for their own purposes. They can't completely cut off everybody. They need their own forces to access internet and be connected to the outside world. So what we're doing inside Iran, they're running network scans and finding out what IP ranges are open for the regime, or for whatever purpose they're using it. We have no idea, but we can find out what IP ranges are open.
Okay.
Once we find out those IP ranges are open, we can build a server on that IP range. However, this time we're not giving out that IP address. What we're doing, we're making that server look like a hop, look like a switch. But the real VPN sits somewhere in another country, in another IP range. That's where it's doing the main work. That's where it's helping to unfilter the websites in Iran. So the Iranian regime, when they're monitoring the how can I explain this in a simple term? We're masking the IP addresses.
You're pretending that it's, yes, you're pretending. I get it.
Your VPN and the VPN.
Exactly.
Yes, your VPN and the VPN. And so
exactly. So we're masking these IP addresses, hopping from one proxy to another. So even if they check, all they see, I don't know if you're familiar with like the routing, when you look at the the trace route to see.
Yeah, it goes
where
from
traffic is going.
goes bing 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 bing, and and that's all the nuts and bolts, and thank you for explaining that. But so does anybody over there have internet access now?
Yes, right now we're back on again after weeks of downtime, darkness. Right now, as we speak, we're back on again, and thousands of people are using it.
How do you spread the word? How do you, since you guys had to make so many switches and changes, how do you get the information to the people? This is where it is.
Yeah, it's a very good question. So, all you have to do is to have a couple of people inside of Iran, and you give them these codes, and that spreads like wildfire because people just pass it on to the families and friends, family members and friends, and it just goes wild.
Now, what do you think life is like for the average person right now in Iran?
I mean, honestly, it's very difficult in Iran. Nobody wants war. However, many people are looking at it as a lifeline. They're hoping that after all this death and destruction, they will have a regime that is for the people instead of against its people. So we're all hoping for the best. Again, nobody wants to see death and destruction. And hopefully we will never have to provide another VPN server to Iran ever again after this is all done.
If I'm someone in Iran and I'm using your VPN hop to get on the internet and look at things that the government doesn't want me to see, and I get caught, what happens?
That's a good question.
Yeah, so the only way, first of all, by monitoring your phone, they can't catch you because everything is encrypted. If you get caught, you can be taken into custody and get in some type of trouble. And keep in mind, everybody's using a VPN service. Even their own people, their own forces must use VPN service. You can't get out on the internet. So, so everyone's using it, and if they get in trouble, I don't know what they're doing with them right now. I don't want to say something that's incorrect.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But I'm sure that's not a good thing on your record.
Now, do you think Starlink is providing internet?
We've heard Starlink provides internet, but I haven't personally had anyone that confirmation that people are using it. I hear it on the news, but I don't have any personal connection to Starlink. The problem with Starlink is that, first of all, they have to pay a service to get activated, and I heard that the regime has found a way to find the Starlink servers and create noise, and just like the noise, they hit the frequency, so it becomes more difficult for people to use. Yeah. Another problem with the Starlink is that only the people around in the vicinity of Starlink can use it, where the service that we're providing is pretty much quote unquote universal. So
when did you leave the country?
I left 1984.
Okay.
Yeah. I was 13 years old. I became a refugee in Canada for many years. It's another long story. My mom was in jail in Iran, and I left. I went to Turkey. From Turkey, I got a fake passport. Went to Yugoslavia back then. Got a fake Canadian visa. Ripped up my passport in the toilet on the plane. Landed in Canada and applied for refugee status.
Wow, gosh, what a life!
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You're doing a wonderful thing right now to help the people in your country.
Absolutely.
Really. You can tell that's a passion project. That's 24/7.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Don't stop.
Don't stop, Alex. Hey, if you love staying tech ahead, then you're going to love. I'm talking about my free newsletter called The Current. Join almost 1 million folks who get it every single day. It's quick, smart, and only takes 5 minutes a day. Yes. Sign up right now at getkim.com. That's getkim.com.